Okay, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance podcast, episode number 79. Today, we have Seth Puan. Seth,
Yes.
you from Special Strength Singapore. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. So you are the founder and the head coach of Special Strength,
Yes, correct.
and which basically is personal training and coaching for special needs. This is people, not necessarily children, right? It could be anybody, right?
It's a huge range, yeah.
And mainly autism and Down syndrome.
Yes.
Is that correct?
There's a huge range from ASD, Down syndrome, ADHD as well, you know, low muscle tone, global. There's a huge range of them. Yeah, but mainly ASD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you just introduce yourself, who you are, what do you do, and
Okay. Yeah.
just a brief intro.
Yeah. So my name is Seth. I'm the founder of Special Strength. So we provide customized fitness program for individuals with special needs.
Yes.
Yeah. So we provide them lessons in their home or nearby areas to bring convenience to them. Yeah. And we customize the programs according to what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I started Special Strength since 2017.
Oh, so it's been quite a long time.
Yeah. So it's been quite a while. 8 years.
Yes.
About there.
Yep.
Yeah. So we do mainly personal training, and we are looking into group classes as well in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
So before we get too deep into this, can you briefly tell me the difference, or the not definition, but briefly what autism would be and what Down syndrome is, what's going on in the body?
Okay. So I think the main thing about autism, to keep it simple, individuals with autism have this thing called sensory issues.
Yes.
So even lightings, even sound, it can be very minimal to us,
Yep.
but it can cause a lot of sensory issues to them. And this can trigger meltdowns. It can be too overwhelming for them. Yeah. And they may lose focus easily.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think there is something towards autism.
Yeah.
Down syndrome is it's more of the understanding level. Yeah. And there are certain features. They have lower muscle tone as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the main difference between the autism and Down syndrome.
And autism seems to be quite talked about these days, right?
Yeah.
And there seems to be a spectrum of very heavy and very light, right?
Yeah.
Let's just use an example, would be someone like Rain Man, right?
Yeah.
That's autism, right? And then someone very, very, very light autism. You might not even know. I might have it. You might have it. We don't actually. That doesn't affect us very much, right? So what is your background in sort of this field? You're personal training yourself.
Yeah.
Is that what you've always been doing? Is that what you?
Yeah. So I started. I was in fitness industry since 2010. So it's been about 15 years about that. Yeah. So I started off as a personal trainer, like most people.
So just like what you'd think of, you're the dude in the gym that's helping people train, right?
Yeah, because I always have this principle that, you know, if I want to work, I want to do something that actually helps others as well.
Yeah.
So that's my principle in finding a job. So I've always been trying different things. Personal training. After personal training, I became a gymnastic coach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did it for about 5 years.
Do you have a history of gymnastics yourself?
No. Yeah.
Hey.
So I'm a gymnastic coach, but I was in charge of the special needs program at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So at a point of time, it was my first exposure to individuals with autism. Right. So it was a very new experience, and we tried many different programs, like gymnastics programs, like forward row, backward row, you know, even handstands.
Yep.
And they could do it, and I was really, really surprised that they could do all this stuff. Yeah. And at that point of time, I realized that wow, I've been setting limitations on them, and this is something that maybe I can do something more for them.
Okay.
Right. So that's when everything started.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from then on, I did my degree in sports science. I did diploma in psychology in early childhood as well.
Oh, okay.
Just to understand a little bit more.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you find that helps you a lot in what you do?
Generally, it does. I mean, there's like a definition on, like, you know, how to manage their emotions as well, how to regulate them as well. But when it comes to the more practical stuff, it really required a lot of experience, and guidance. Yeah.
Okay, and so the gymnastics with the special needs, but you're still a personal trainer at the gym.
Yeah.
Right. When did you think, okay, hang on, maybe was it a calling, or was it a niche that you discovered? What was it that you felt that 2017 you had to start something actually dedicated for special needs?
Okay, so while I was teaching special needs at the gymnastics school, I was in charge of the program, so I was working with Pathlight School, Eden School, Rainbow Center as well. We have coaches all on these schools.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll go down, take a look, and I'll make sure everything runs. And most of the time, I'll be stationed at Pathlight School.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pathlight School, I'm not super familiar. Is
Okay.
that a school?
For mainly individuals with autism.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were I was there for quite a while and get a lot of experience, a lot of guidance from the teachers as well.
Yep.
So we were in charge of gymnastics program as part of their curriculum from Monday to Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah. So from then I realized that there's so much to them.
Yeah.
It's not just a diagnosis, but there's so much more that they can do. Right. So from then on, it really sparked an interest. They're like, oh, maybe I can do something different. That's something that's helpful. So usually after the school, we will head back to the main gym and we'll conduct lessons. So there was once where there was an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She was partially blind, and there was a mild cerebral palsy as well, some seizures going on as well. So she was the only student that time.
Yeah.
So when she came and I was the coach then, and usually we would do things like forward row, backward row, more skill based, right? Yeah. But this time I told them, let's start stretching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the parents were okay with it, and we started stretching for about 10-15 minutes. She smiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was just normal for her to smile, right? Yeah, then that's when the parent told me that they have never seen her smile before.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the part where I knew it was my calling to do something different. Yeah.
And sometimes I'm sure that the parents, it's your own child, right? You're going to do everything for them, but you don't actually, what am I trying to say? You don't realize that these things are out there and these things are possible. And of course you want the best for your children, right?
Yes.
But then they must be so overwhelmed when they see the child smile, right? And,
it is.
And suddenly it's like achievement unlocked. Suddenly what they thought wasn't possible is possible, right? And then now you realize that as well, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a dedicated space where you do this, like a rental space where people come to your classes, or are you going to them?
We are mainly going to them. Yeah. Okay. So we are looking in the future, hopefully we'll be able to get a space.
Yep.
Yeah. So we can cater to more students.
Yep.
Yeah. But currently what we're doing, we go to students' homes, nearby areas. Yeah. It can be HDB void deck.
So mostly one-on-one. So you'd go out and then whoever it is will come down to the void deck or to the entertainment space or something, and then you do just like any other personal training.
Yep.
Right. You would just do you do agility ladders or pull-ups or whatever it is.
Yes, exactly.
And then if there's interest for more than that, you would have 5 or 10 in the class together, just doing this, just like any other group class, right?
Yeah.
But you just tailor it to what these clients, any other clients, what they need, right?
Yep.
So tell me this, how many coaches do you currently have?
Currently, we have 6 coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, that's running different. So each of them will have their own students as well.
Okay.
So I will always assign them with a particular student, and we will not change coaches.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason why is because individuals with autism as well as students, they are not very good with change. Yeah. So we try our best to cater to that need. Yeah. So even our programs as well, we try to keep it as structured as possible, as many visuals as possible, footprints, handprints, arrows, color based as well. So it's something that's easier for them to understand as well. Yeah. So
and the routine, they know what they're getting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes half the challenges you're surprised it's like won't go down very well sometimes, right? So if they know they're gonna go, this set's gonna be there and it's gonna be, you're gonna do the cones and stuff.
yeah.
Is that sort of one of the ways you keep people's attention is to sort of make sure that it's consistent that way.
Yeah. So we try to keep everything as consistent as possible. But when it comes to fitness, we always want them to progress.
Yeah.
Right. So the progression can be a little bit tricky. Yeah. So example, if we were to do certain things like a plank, hands on the floor, with your knees and your hips up. Yeah. So to progress from there, it has to be something that's similar. Yeah. So we may elevate the legs, example, all the way up to the wall.
So one change at a time.
Yeah.
One change a week or something like that.
Yeah. And every station has to be something that's very similar. So example, we would do like cones. We do a lot of animal movements, crawling forward, crawling backwards. So that station is just meant for that.
Okay.
And if we certain students, when we would just change it, they will bring the cones back and set it up the previous way.
Oh,
Yeah, so it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the special needs for people with special needs, right? What are the sort of things that you have to do to keep them attentive, right? Because you said that it's a lot of times they lose focus very quickly.
Yeah.
What are you doing differently? Like, if it was a regular aerobics class, right? How would you do your class different from a regular class?
Okay. So I think first thing is visuals. I think that's number one. And talk less.
Talk less.
Yeah, I think there's a mistake that when I train coaches as well, I think a lot of them when they come, it's like if you want them to do example planks, right? Say put your hands on the floor over there, So it's like it's a long phrase and they can't really process that quickly.
Yeah.
So you put probably a 30 seconds processing time, and we just want to point at the foot handprint and just say hands.
Oh, okay.
And that's good enough.
Simple
And straightforward, right? So just give them time to process. They will put their hands down, right? Feet, just feet. Yeah, so I think there's something that's different. So certain cues that we use. So in schools, they tend to add a little bit like certain words with an ing at the back. So instead of following,
Okay.
looking.
Yeah.
So on a higher pitch where they can really catch and have that, they get their attention onto your side, then they
Okay.
will be able to focus better. Yeah, so we learn this kind of phrases from schools as well, since I work in school, right? In the past, yeah. So I use that during lessons as well.
So it's not about so much about getting them to focus. It's more about getting their attention,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As strange as that sounds.
Yeah, because I think the main thing is that they will not be able to focus on one thing all the time. Yeah, even for us, right? Yeah, so it's how we can get them back to what they need to do, like to the task.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it was a minor, or maybe even like a young adults, do you have a lot of parental involvement in these classes?
It depends. Most of the time, some parents will join us and try to learn as much as they can, and our job is to educate them, right? So they're very supportive, but some parents may be working, and most of the time the helpers are there. Yeah. So most of the time.
So are they bringing these exercises and these routines back to home and trying to do it there as well, or is it it's a once a week thing? They come here, or what? How do they get involved in?
Yeah, so usually what we educate them is, we can't ask them to set up everything and do the whole circuit. And they don't need us anymore as well, right?
Yeah, true.
So I think the main thing is we want them to understand what they're working on. So we give them like probably an exercise or two. Example, wall sit.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's something that they can work. And how do they assist?
Yep.
Yeah, example, planks, how do they assist as well?
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe just these two exercises for the entire month.
Yep.
And
Do you find that most of your students or clients, do they do their homework at home, and do they do the wall sits, or do they do the planks and they come back next week and, hey Seth, look at me now, I can do it for 5 minutes instead of 2.5, or?
Not all, not all. But there are some parents who are really, really, they have the time they really put in a lot of effort in them as well. Yeah. So you really can see the difference.
Yeah.
And if they were to get involved and really do their best for their child as well, and I think we can progress really a lot faster as well.
So what are the typical progressions that you would see? Like someone comes in day one, right? They can't focus, they're not very attentive, and obviously this is personal training, right? So you want people to get more muscular, stronger, fitter, or whatever. What do you normally see as the biggest improvements that they make?
Yeah, I think for the muscular side, we want to get stronger, but not particularly muscular. So I think for a lot of students, it's jumping is an issue. Yeah, so for a start, what they will do is they may not have the confidence to jump. They are able to do it, but they do not have the confidence to jump.
Okay.
Right? So you can set up a hurdle in front of them. They will bend their knees, but they will hold themselves back. And they will do it again and do it again. Then when they jump, they'll just put one leg over and just cross over instead of a jump. So I think that's the number one thing that we usually focus on as well. Because once they are able to jump, once they understand to use both feet, lift both feet off the ground, it's a good start. We can do things like bunny hop, donkey kick. There's so many things that we can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is that a sensory thing that they always want to have one foot on the ground?
No, I think it's really more of a confidence. Yeah. So because we do see a lot of difference as well. Even we had a student with low muscle tone. She was 5 at that time. Yeah, so she had problems with stabilizing herself, even while standing up. Yeah, so we did very simple stuff like the goal was to jump over a hurdle, right? So we did very simple stuff like walking backwards, walking sideways, and when she could do it, we did step up. And on the day where she jumped over the hurdles, yeah, it was very surprising for all of us. But she could just, and that was it.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
Does that unlock something for them for the rest of their life?
Yeah.
Right?
Confidence.
Right.
She was willing to try new things now.
Yeah.
Right. She was like, oh, I said, did a good job with the jump, like let's try something else.
Yeah.
And she was okay with it, and it really progressed a lot better. Yeah.
So what would let's just say I had you for an hour, right? And then you came over to my place to give me a class.
Yeah.
What does that hour normally entail?
Okay, so I think for a start is we need to gauge the students' mood at the time. Yeah, so it's very mood based, right? So we will talk to them. So we're gonna start lesson now. Are you ready? Yeah. So when they're ready, what we will do is we'll start the dynamic warm up. But when we do a warm up, doesn't typically for every student. Some students may not be able to follow instructions well. Yeah. So we will go straight into the program, but we start with lower intensity.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll set up circuits. The equipments will all already be set up. Yeah, so what they need to do is station by station. Okay, this is what you need to do. Hands, feet, we continue. So we probably do typically 2 rounds. We have a water break. And if their fitness level is better, we may cut down the number of breaks that they have.
Okay.
Yeah, then at the end, we will include stretching, which works on their flexibility.
Yeah.
Stretching it will be assisted stretching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is there anything in particular that you have to do to regulate if someone's having a meltdown or someone's is particularly anxious that day, are there anything particular tricks of the trade that you have that you can?
Yeah, I think the first thing we need to do is to talk to parents first beforehand. Yeah, right. To ask them whether they are comfortable with us handling the meltdown. Because some parents may prefer us to take a step back and let the parents handle them.
Yep.
But most are okay with us handling. So what we will do is we get them to sit down and calm down first. That's the number. The safety is the top priority, right? So we get them to sit down, cross their legs, fold their arms. So in certain schools, they use this stop pose. So when they say stop pose, they will cross their legs, they'll fold their arms, and they'll count to 10. They'll breathe 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so it works for certain students, not all. Yeah, but if they get too agitated, we just get them to sit down. We will count with them. We will breathe with them.
Yeah.
Until they are calm, ask them, are you ready?
Yeah.
If they are ready, we will continue the lesson. And they start getting agitated again, we will sit down, cross legs, fold arms, and we will try it over and over again.
It must take a lot of patience because I'm not comparing this, but I live with my father-in-law. He has Alzheimer's, right?
Okay.
And he asks the same questions every 5 minutes. Is the aircon on? If you turn the TV up, what's for dinner? And it's very easy for me to get frustrated because it's the same thing every 5 minutes. And sometimes I have to catch myself because he doesn't want that. He doesn't know he's doing that. He doesn't understand that what he just said it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure it's the similarities between what you do and that sort of situation, right? Do you find I guess what I'm asking is, what do you guys do in particular to sort of tackle that? And what makes a good trainer? You have 6 trainers, right? And what makes what would be your unicorn sort of trainer, or what traits do you need to be good at what you do?
I think the number one thing is passion. Yeah. You need to have the heart for the job.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not just a job. Yeah. So if you take it as just a job, you wouldn't last.
Because if it's just a job, you can be unplugged and then Joe can be plugged in, and then you just do the things that you're paid to do, and then you go home, you're done, right? But it's way more than that.
Way more than that, yes.
The client is very attached to you, and his whole life routine could be revolving around you're one of the big milestones in the week, right? For example,
yes,
right?
Correct, yeah. So I think the main thing is also building a bond with a student. I think that's one very important thing. So whenever a coach takes over a lesson, the first thing we want to do, I always share with parents that, it's not about exercise now. It's about the familiarization. So about the bond, whether this coach matches this child, right? They have to have a bond, right? So
Right.
when
And
there's a more,
sometimes it doesn't work.
sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work. So it really depends on how experienced the coach is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it takes a while to get there. So if we were to change coach at any point of time,
Yeah.
it may cause a meltdown. It may get agitated as well. Yeah.
So if you got some fresh coach, just graduated from wherever, sports science degree, wants to join you, what do you tell them, like, to get ready for, or what do you tell them to make sure that you do or you don't do?
I think I'll share them more experiences with meltdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's not something that's really shared out there because it's quite sensitive. Yeah, but meltdowns, it can be quite aggressive at certain points. Yeah, so I always give them this scenario where if you were to spot this student or see this student in an exercise and he spits on your face, right? So at that point of time, parents are watching you. Everyone is watching you, and if you were to get angry, you don't look professional,
And you can't take
right?
it
Yeah, and if
personally.
you smile, you're not professional as well.
true.
You don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So at that point of time, the amount of stress that the pressure that you're feeling right now is
And it's just human nature to snap or to react or to push back or whatever, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So back to my father-in-law, yeah, he will call me names all the time, right? And you can't take it personally.
Yeah.
The next morning wakes up, he doesn't remember me calling me a name, right? So, it's, I guess, one of those big traits would be,
Yeah.
passion, and have the passion be your guiding force more than the day-to-day actions, right?
Yeah, and it takes a lot of practice because on theory it's just words, right? It's difficult to picture how when you are taking the first hand,
Yeah.
you're really handling a student by yourself, and if it's spitting on their face, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
How are you gonna react to that? Yeah. So and there are a lot other cases as well. Yeah, that we can meet more aggression as well. Yeah.
Yeah, true. I guess go back to the business side of things, right? You got 6 coaches. Each of those coaches got their own specialty. Or is one doing strength training? Is one doing aerobics? One doing yoga? Or everyone's sort of roughly doing the same stuff?
It depends. So there are like dance instructors. There are like one of them is working with like reading and writing, but with experience in like fundamental movements. So most of them are actually coaches or PTs.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that when it comes, they have experience with like especially individuals. I have one coach with his son has autism as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so
then, how big do you want to get? Do you want to be 10 coaches? Do you want to be 100 coaches? Do you want to take care of the whole community in Singapore? What is your end game?
I think managing 10 coaches is quite pretty extreme for me. Yeah, so
Definitely.
yeah, so I think currently I think it's a good size. Six coaches are good. I mean, they are committed and their heart is in the right place as well.
Are they? Is it they're full-time coaches with you?
Oh, they're not. They're
not.
Yeah. So I mean, there's only this number of students that I can really give them, right? So I don't want to hold them back with like not having a full-time job or other freelance jobs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so in 5 years' time, if you come back here, and if I'm still doing this podcast, right? What do you want to? Where do you want this to go, and what do you want?
I think hopefully in 5 years, if we are able to get a physical space, then that would be great. Yeah, we'll be able to have more students, we'll be able to help more people, we'll be able to educate, like doing workshops for parents as well. Then, I mean, if we're able to use that space as a community, yeah, for the special needs community, I think that'll be great. Yeah.
I guess in general, I guess anywhere in the world, special needs has a bit of a stigma, right? But in reality, anybody's child is not necessarily genetic, right? Anybody's child could be a special needs child. Do you feel that stigma is getting less now, or staying the same, or is getting worse? Where do you feel like Singapore is going with treatment of people with special needs?
I think for Singapore, the awareness is getting there. Yeah, which is a really, really good thing. There's like Purple Parade. It creates more awareness.
Yep.
There are like art events. Companies like Starbucks, example. Aston's, I think they are working with schools, so giving them working opportunities as well. So we are seeing more and more of these individuals in restaurants.
Yeah.
And serving coffee, example.
Actually, come to think of it, I am a member of the American Club. And the American Club in the cafe does have a lady, and she definitely has Down syndrome. And she's out there cleaning tables and doing all that sort of stuff as well. It's actually pretty great that she's
It is,
doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the main goal for them is for them to be independent. Yeah, and I think Singapore is doing a great job.
And everybody needs a sense of purpose, right? And nobody wants to be like in Singapore. I sometimes see ex-convicts and people with special needs. They're given roles which don't necessarily equate to their skill set.
Yeah.
But they're put in this box, and they're making notebooks or hands, but they're actually great artists, for example, right? Or they're really good at cleaning tables or being a waiter, but they only get to make these roles. I think that's getting better now. Maybe 10 years ago it was worse, but now it's a bit more open and mainstream.
Yes.
Are you seeing that?
I think definitely. I think in schools they will. I mean, because individuals with autism, if they are very focused on something, they will go out. So they can be very good pianists, example.
Yeah, or artists. It's always the person that just looks at the city and then just draws it. That they always have some sort of autism, right?
So I do have a student as well who draws, who paints. Yeah. He has his own channel as well, and he's doing great. He's painting every day. That's how he expresses himself.
Yeah.
He goes to like art events, and he will sell them, and I will go and I'll buy them as well. Yeah, just to support him. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. I think I've run out of questions, Seth. Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
If anybody has any questions, the best way to get a hold of you would be Special Strength SG on Instagram?
Yes.
And that's you. You'll probably be or end up with you in the end of the day.
Yeah.
If they get a hold of you, Seth, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to it if I want to follow you and to keep up with your journey.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.